Chapter 25. Joy and Discontent. As the summer of 1762 fades into splashes of brown, orange, and red, Esteban and his band of brothers are towing the line in defense of their colony. And as the flora and fauna retreat from the layers of white now blanketing the colony, the Treaty of Paris is signed on Thursday, February 10th, 1763, bringing the long-fought French and Indian War to an end. Sadly, it did not end soon enough. The Alban Farm, Saturday, March 30th, 1763. Spring's renewal of all things beautiful has always been William's favorite season, save the heavy workload that comes with it, which is why he spends his evenings on the front porch, reminiscing, smoking his pipe, and soaking in God's creation. He is leaning against a porch post, enjoying the evening air when he spies a figure emerging from behind his barn. The barnyard dimmed by overcast, he is unsure of what his old eyes are seeing. He taps out his pipe. "Dinna think I canna see you lurking? Step from the shadows and announce yourself." Reaching for Martha on the rail, he stares into the shades of gray. As the scene comes into focus, he spies a figure he has not seen in quite a spell, but one no less familiar. He calls into the darkness, "Blue Jacket?" With a solemn tone, he steps from the shadows. "Makwa, my brother, it has been far too long." William senses something is amiss. As they come together, he spreads his arms, receiving his old friend warmly, embracing him with a brotherly hug. "You're right, old friend. It's been far too many a season. Welcome. 'Tis good to see you." Hearing them on the front porch, Robert and Junior emerge from the cabin, and Robert blurts, "Blue Jacket!" Blue Jacket wraps his young apprentice in a bear hug. "Kinda big." It has been a long time since they have seen each other. He steps back, hands on Robert's shoulders, and with a firm squeeze, "Where once stood small boy, now stands young man." Robert nods, smiling from ear to ear. He turns to 18-year-old Junior, stepping in for a hug. "And you, little Makwa, you even bigger than you, brother." Junior laughs. "Blue Jacket, it's so good to see you. It's been so long." "As you father say, too many seasons." Emerging from her room, Mary hears voices in the yard. Throwing a shawl over her shoulders, she steps onto the porch. Stopping dead in her tracks, "Blue Jacket, is that you? Lordy, come give me a hug." They meet halfway across the yard, where Blue Jacket wraps Mary in a sisterly embrace. "It's good to see you, Miss Mary." "And you as well, dear. So, to what do we owe the honor?" As the Albans lean in, Blue Jacket straightens himself, takes a deep breath, and sighs. "Makwa, we have been brothers for many a season, and I know they would want it this way." "They?" Mary asks. He lifts his chin to the evening sky. "Skiagunsta and Senawa." William senses what is coming next. "This my purpose for be here. Please forgive, but was Senawa's last wish." Mary covers her mouth with both hands. "Last wish?" "Yes, him travel to great hunting grounds. But with him dying breath, him say, him grateful for him brother Makwa. Grateful you save him life so many year ago. And him grateful for you and you family." Young George sighs. "But where'd he go?" His father turns to him. "Well, Blue Jacket's saying, lad, as he's gone to heaven." So now it died? Blue Jacket kneels, placing a hand atop George's head. Yes, but him spirit live on in you, and you brothers. Robert and Junior's eyes well up as Blue Jacket stands, but they hold their composure, refusing to dishonor the great Shawnee warrior's memory. Blue Jacket looks them in the eyes with a fatherly smile. I see you hearts are full. You eyes like pools in great river. Be not ashamed, for he felt same. William breathes. He saved John's life. Placing a hand on William's shoulder, him say this, him greatest honor. And what'll ski against him die with honor 2 year ago, fighting for our people. Please forgive, not come sooner, for me know him dear in you hearts. Mary reaches out, taking hold of his right hand, giving it a squeeze. We're so sorry to hear that. They were no just our friends. They were family. Mary releases his hand, placing her hand softly on his chest, patting it. Me dear Blue Jacket, your loss is our loss. He nods, then looks around. Where Esteban? William waves towards Winchester. He's off somewhere with the regiment. Blue Jacket nods slowly with a grin. Him have heart of warrior, like him father. William nods. You taught him well, old friend. Blue Jacket shakes his head. No, we taught. You, me, Senawa, Skiagunsta, baby. We taught. William nods with a grateful smile. We did indeed, brother. Mary steps forward, taking him by the arm. You must have been traveling a good distance. Are you hungry? With a tilt of his head. No hungry, but if you have McGregor's. With a pirate smile, William slaps him on the arm, then turns to his son. Junior, fetch me the jugs. Without a word, he scampers into the cabin. William gives his old friend a squint-eyed stare. I've been saving these jugs for just such an occasion. Blue Jacket looks back at him with a raise of his right brow. You see, old McGregor passed on a few years back, but I still have a few jugs I've been saving for a moment such as this. Blue Jacket tilts his head back slightly with a look of reflection in his eyes, slowly nodding. McGregor, him funny man. Him live good life, and make best whiskey. Just then Junior emerges, a jug in each hand. He hands one to his father and the other to Blue Jacket. Holding the jugs in front of them, they remove the corks, look each other in the eyes, and William lifts his jug. To Skiagunsta. The Shawnee warrior lifts his jug with a nod. To Skiagunsta. And with that, they throw back the jugs and take a snort. The whiskey no sooner hits the backs of their throats when William lifts his jug again. To Sanawa! And once again they throw back a healthy swig. As William brings the jug down, Robert snatches it from his hands, lifting it to the heavens. To Sanawa! His first snort quickly followed by a second. And Skiagunsta! William's mouth is still hanging open when Junior takes the jug from his brother, makes a toast, and throws back 2 healthy chugs. Mary snatches the jug from his hands. Bloody hell! Give me that! Junior steps back in shock as she wipes the rim with her dress sleeve. To our dearly beloved. Then she throws back a couple of good long swigs, followed by a healthy burp as she hands the jug to a stunned Blue Jacket, who, after watching her throw back that whiskey, is smiling from ear to ear. Taking the cork from her husband, she places it in the jug. Blue Jacket attempts to hand it to her, but she gently pushes it back. That one's for you, old friend. He holds up a hand. Better you keep, save, for when next we meet. With some hesitation, she takes it back from him. "This jug will no be touched till next we meet. You have me word." He smiles and nods.
"Oh, me almost forget."
Unslinging the bedroll from his back,
"Me have gifts for John and Robert."
Robert steps forward.
"Did you say gifts?"
He places his roll on the ground. Unrolling it, he looks up at Robert with a nod.
"From Sanawa."
As it opens, he reveals a beautiful tomahawk and a long-bladed knife with a deer antler handle. He picks up the knife, handing it to Robert. Gazing wide-eyed at the precious heirloom in his hands, "This be the knife you taught me to throw."
"Yes, kinda big. Him have no sons, only you and you brothers. Him want you have."
Robert looks up from the knife. "I'm honored." Blue Jacket nods and picks up the tomahawk, handing it to William.
"This for Esteban."
He takes it with a humble bow. "Thank you, brother. We are honored by these gifts and shall cherish them always." Blue Jacket pats himself on the chest, hand over heart with a nod.
"Good. Me happy. But it late now, and I must go."
"Go? There's no need to go. You can bed down here for the night. Blue Jacket holds up a hand.
"Much appreciate. But it not safe for me here."
William cocks his head.
"White man scared of Injun. Do foolish things."
William rolls his head back in sad recognition, slowly nodding. "I suppose you're right, old friend. There are some foolhardy folk out there." With a single nod, Blue Jacket and the family exchange hugs, say their goodbyes, and like a ninja, he disappears into the darkness, shouting,
"Until next we meet!"
And just as quickly as he appeared, he is gone. The Alban Farm, Spring, 1763. In May, the Virginia Regiment is disbanded yet again, narrowly avoiding the coming scourge of the Pontiac Wars. Unknown at the time, the war had been sparked by a council of Native American tribes on the 28th of April. Meanwhile, the Alban family continues to persevere through life's ups and downs on Virginia's rapidly expanding frontier. For several years now, they and the Sheplers have experienced a great deal of success with their potato crops, and later, their potato-corn collaboration. The collaboration, referred to as the All or Nothing Cooperative, is now in their third year, and this year they have decided to try something new: rotate their crops. Meaning, corn is now being planted in the Alban fields, while potatoes are being planted in the Sheplers. It has been a long and dusty journey from one end of the colony to the other, riding over hills, through valleys, and across rivers, pushing forward in the heat of the sun and the unrelenting cold of the night. But now, Sergeant Alban is almost home. As he casually approaches the family farm, he spies something in the fields that gives him cause for alarm. For starters, there is no sign of his father or brothers, only his mother, Aunt Flora, their neighbor Magdalene Shepler, and several children. His heart sinks, and he brings his mount to a halt. Has something happened to his father? And where are his brothers? Tall in the saddle, he rides slowly to the edge of the field and stops, undetected. He watches for a while, hesitant to announce his return for dread of what news awaits. He sits there quietly for almost 10 minutes, watching and wondering, until he hears the voice of 11-year-old Melinda Shepler hollering, "Miss Mary! Miss Mary!" "What is it, child?" She shades her eyes, pointing across the field to the man on horseback. "Is that who I think it is?" Mary turns, shading her eyes from the mid-morning sun, her eyes adjusting as the man in the distance comes into focus. "John!" John waves, rides up and slides from his mount. Mary drops her hoe and dashes across the field as fast as her 47-year-old legs will carry her. "John!" Tears falling from her welling eyes. Flora, Magdalene, and the children drop what they are doing and quickly fall in behind her, each sprinting towards the Alban's long-departed son. As Mary reaches him, her heart bursting with joy, she cries into his shoulder, "Praise God for bringing you home to me. I've been missing you something fierce, young squire." Her arms wrap so tightly around John's neck, he wonders if he will ever walk upright again. "Hello, Ma." He kisses the top of her head. "Did you miss me?" She steps back, slapping him on the chest. "Did I miss you? Nay, you silly goose. I just be needing an extra hand in the field." Then she smacks him again with a warm, motherly smile. "Good Lord Almighty, it surely does me heart good to see you home." He gives her another hug. "'Tis good to be home, Ma." He steps back and, like an army scout, scans the area. "Where's Da?" To his relief, she chuckles, "Over to the Sheplers, planting totties with your brothers." As the small group of corn planters gather around John and his mother, Magdalene notices her daughter running towards home. "Where are you going?" Melinda shouts. "To fetch William." Moments later, in the Shepler field, Robert looks up from his work to spot Melinda dashing towards him in the distance. When he sees her frantically waving her arms and shouting something, he straightens. "What in blazes?" Just feet away, William asks, "What's that?" He points. "Melinda! What's she doing?" "She's running like her hair's on fire." "Or she's being chased by a bear," adds Junior. William gasps. "Something's wrong." As she draws nearer, he tries making out what she is shouting. "Did she say?" Robert spins to his father, wide-eyed. "She sure did, Da. John's home. She's saying John's home." William starts walking towards her with a hurried pace. "God Almighty! I thought me old ears were lying to me again, but they ain't." Robert sprints past him. "They sure enough ain't. Come on!" Then he runs straight over to his horse, swings his right leg over the saddle, and digs in his heels, shouting, "Yah! Git!" And off he races. Hurrying along as quickly as his old bones will carry him, William turns to the crew with a wave. "Come on, lads! John's home!" Moving a little slower, but not far behind, William, Henry, and the rest of the crew climb aboard a wagon and head over to the Alban farm. As Robert comes up on Melinda, he reaches down with his left hand, grabs her awaiting arms, and swings her onto the back of his mount. As she lands, she wraps her arms around him, and they dash away. Moments later, they ride up to the cornfield, dismount, and dash over to John, his brother catching him off guard and tackling him to the ground. From atop his big brother, he declares, "You're a bloody sight for sore eyes, Sergeant Esteban." Looking up from his back, "And you've grown into a bloody giant. What blazes is Mom feeding you?" Standing, Robert helps his brother up, wrapping him in a bear hug, patting him heartily upon the back. Just then, William, Henry, and the crew pull up in the wagon. William, feeling as spry as a teenager at the sight of his son, leaps from the wagon, and after a quick, albeit coy, back adjustment, hurries over to him. Wrapping his huge bear claws around him, he hoists John into the air, spinning him in a circle. "Ah-ha! Welcome home, young squire. 'Tis good to see you. And you as well, Da." He sets him down, throwing some playful shadow punches at him as he steps away. "Let me have a look at you." Taking in his son in his striking regimental uniform, a tear of pride wells in his eye, and he wipes it away. "So, are you back to stay this time?" John shrugs. "I didn't ken. Until I'm needed again, I reckon. Until then, home's where I'll be." "Well, you've been missed, son. Welcome home." "Thanks, Da. 'Tis good to be here." "I've missed you, too. All of you. Save Robert, of course," he says with a cockeyed grin. His brother throws him a dismissive wave. Standing beside him is Henry, looking on as though it were his own son who had returned home. Stepping forward with a huge smile, he shakes John's hand.
"Welcome home, Sergeant Esteban."
John shakes firmly. "Thank you, sir." Henry turns to the group with an arm around John's back, and with a glance at William,
"Everyone, there'll be no more work today. Today we celebrate."
Looking back at his partner, William gives him a nod, then turns to his son. "Junior, write to your uncle and aunts. Tell 'em we'll be celebrating tonight. Tell 'em their long-lost nephew has come home safe and sound." With a two-fingered salute, he throws him a wink. "Aye, da." As Junior turns to mount his horse, Melinda walks up. "Where are you going?" "To Brucetown, to tell me family John's home." "Where are you going?" With a stink-eyed glare, "Where do you think? Now, are you going to help me up or aren't you?" Junior gives her father a glance and he nods his approval. Seconds later, they are racing for Brucetown. From behind him, Melinda shouts, "Take me home! I ain't riding all the way to Brucetown on the back of this here horse." He looks back at her with a nod and races onward. The Alban Farm, later that evening. While their gathering is completely impromptu, it is no less jubilant, as family and friends gather around the bonfire, listening as John recounts his time away from home. From across the fire, John Bruce throws him a wave. "So, tell us, John, where have your regimental adventures taken you these past many months? And, for the love of a good story, what in blazes were you doing out there?" John stares into the flickering flames, thinking. Then slowly he turns his eyes to him. "Uncle, I've been from here to North Carolina and every meadow, valley, river, and mountain in between. And as for what we did, all I can say is, our duty."
"Which was?"
John looks back into the flames, pausing, then looks back at him again. "Protecting Virginia, of course." William recognizes the look in his son's eyes and chimes in. "And of that we have no doubt." John looks at his father stone-faced and nods. His father nods back and lifts his mug. "To me son, John." They all lift their mugs. "To John." John lifts his mug with an outward smile, but in the back of his mind are memories he would rather forget. But all that matters now is he's home. After that day, life on the farm returns to normal. And so it is, John folds his uniform and stows it in a trunk for safekeeping. Over the next several months, the corn and potato crops are planted, harvested, and sold. And although the French and Indian War and the Cherokee Rebellion are behind them, troubles loom as friction between the colonists and the Crown begin to heat up. The Alban Farm, the following year. Spring 1764. It has been nearly 20 years since William and Lord Fairfax fought over ownership of William's land, a fight which resulted in William retaining a mere 178 acres of what once spanned more than 1,000. Now, William was on the cusp of being embroiled yet again. It is spring, and he is knee-deep in planting potatoes when a writer approaches. "Mr. Marquis, sir! A message from the Frederick County Court!" William takes the message. "Thank you, lad." As the writer dashes away, his eldest wipes the sweat from his brow, asking, "What's it say?" William opens the letter and starts to read. It says, "The court has appointed me and the Perrells, John and Joseph, to view the ground leading from Lou Neal's mill into town." "And do what?" "Says here, we're to make a report regarding the installation of a new roadway." Henry is standing just feet away.
"A roadway?"
"Aye. Says here, whereupon making our report, it shall be ordered that a road be opened, and something about this by then said of, and that the tithables be a road 2.5 miles on each side running through our property and into town."
Robert gasps.
"A road through our property?" "That's what it says." Having been weaseled by Lord Fairfax in the past, William had hoped such troubles were behind him. That said, after fighting and losing in his previous encounter, he and the Perrells view fighting the order as futile. In the end, Frederick County forces them to pay filing fees, obtain road warrants from Lord Fairfax, and build a road through the heart of their land all the way into town. Ironically, when the road is finished, William does such an outstanding job of building it, county authorities approach him with an offer he cannot refuse. The powers that be are so impressed that they appoint him Frederick County's official overseer of roads, a title he will hold until the day he dies. So although the situation had started out as yet another example of colonial oppression, in the end it worked out favorably for William and the people of Frederick County. But change is looming. Tensions have long been brewing between the colonists and the Crown, William and the Perrell situation being one of many. This is especially true in port cities like Boston and New York, where tensions have led to small groups of like-minded patriots organizing and developing underground networks to thwart the Crown and its tyrannical rule. The British colonies of North America, the following year, spring 1765. On March 22nd, word spreads through the streets of Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, and across the colonies. The British Crown is overreaching yet again. Parliament has passed the Stamp Act, imposing unfair taxation on all paper products in the colonies. Its widespread effect negatively impacting each and every colonist. After enduring one unfair and unjust act after another, the Stamp Act, the Sugar Act, the Declaratory Act, the Townshend Revenue Act, and so on, the colonists have had enough. Later that summer, a few of those colonists who had formed patriotic groups like the Boston Caucus Club and the Loyal Nine joined forces, becoming the Sons of Liberty. To spread their message, the Boston chapter begins holding meetings at a public park in the heart of Boston. There, under a stately 120-year-old elm in Hanover Square known as the Liberty Tree, they gather regularly to inform the people. Meanwhile, in New York, chapter meetings there are held under what will come to be known as the Liberty Pole. Although the Stamp Act will be repealed in March of 1766, tensions between the Crown and the colonists fail to subside, and the future of the colonies teeters in the balance.